Welcome to the Born Unbreakable podcast. We are your hosts, Coach Dez and DJFNA.
Yeah, that's me. I'm getting a hang of this. We had a little technical difficulty today. Power cord was missing from my computer, but we pulled it off, man. Nothing's going to stop this show.
That's right. That's right. It's the end of the year.
It's the end of the year. How was your Christmas?
It was awesome. It was really good. It was relaxing. I watched football.
How big of a lump of coal did you get?
Really big.
I showed my daughters the Rugrats episode. I know I'm dating myself. For all you Rugrat fans out there, the Rugrat Christmas episode is one of my favorite Christmas episodes because it talks about the lump of coal.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you that don't know who the Rugrats are, but like they're these babies, and Angelica's like the older one, the older cousin, and she picks on them. And it's funny because these two characters, Tommy and Chucky, they go like Chucky's afraid of Santa Claus, so they're trying to like trap Santa Claus, and it's just a whole funny like cute episode, with kids. But that's one of my favorite episodes, the Christmas episode. But they talk about the lump of coal, like yeah. And at the end, Angelica gets her toy, but like in her Barbie doll house, the Cynthia house.
Yeah.
There's a lump of coal in the garage.
That's funny. No, I've seen memes and videos of a dad actually trying to teach his daughters about gratitude. And they were so excited and they both opened their gifts and legit, it was coal.
What's been the worst Christmas present you've ever gotten? I always ask this. This is one of my favorite questions to ask people.
Christmas present?
Yeah, like the worst, like one Christmas present you were just like, oh man, what the hell is this?
Well, no, I had often really ugly clothes, like ugly sweaters that were given to me that I would never, ever wear. Like, I don't know why.
So was this family members that gave you
like
all the family members that are listening to this that are related to this going like, oh man. Like,
I know I don't want to be mean, so I don't want to say names, but
well, in your family's defense, sometimes, because we talk about this a lot, what do you get somebody that kind of like has a lot, or you know what I mean?
Well, see, it's when I was younger, that kind of thing would happen, and so you accept it, and see, it's so different today, because most times at that age of the kids that are that age today, they want a gift card, they want money. Yeah, it's
I get my niece a gift card because she's in that teenage. You know what I mean? I know that if I get her something like, it's like, but I know as teenagers, they want money.
Yeah. They want to be able to go buy what they want to buy. And so. Sorry,
I didn't put the camera on you so people can see you when you were talking. I forgot. People were just looking at my face the whole time like, ew. So you had a good Christmas.
Yeah, we did what? The Christmas Eve
We had a good Christmas Eve party. I made some brisket. Those of you on my social media saw the brisket I made. Texas style brisket. It was really good. It was very moist. Loved it. Des got down and danced. She's a dancer, so she likes to dance.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. So a lot of you on my social media saw me popping a Dom Perignon bottle.
Oh, yeah.
2010. So I had these two Dom Perignon bottles, both 2010, and I was waiting for a moment or like something to celebrate, but I don't drink. So I'm like, was waiting for something to happen, and I was like, okay, it's a great Christmas party. And then, but one of the things I don't know because I don't drink a lot. I was like, what if these are going bad?
Right.
You know what I mean? About that, yeah. So I didn't really know. And those of you that really are drinkers of champagne are probably like, ew, like why would you? But I didn't know. So I was just like, hey, this is a fun party. We had a lot of family and different friends there. It was a great party. So I was like, let's pop a bottle. A Dom Perignon bottle. Now, I did ask people like, oh, do you like Dom Perignon? Do you like champagne a lot? Some people were like, yeah. And then in 2010, they were like, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. People that will enjoy it or appreciate it are here. So I put one in the freezer, and like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, it was chilled. Popped that bottle. It was good. And then I was like, all right. And everybody loved it. So I was like, okay, well, let me put the other one to chill in the freezer. And those of you that already know where this is going, yes, I didn't know that champagne obviously is going to explode in the refrigerator, in the freezer. And it did. So the next morning I come down, I forgot about it, and I opened the door, and just like there's a Dom Perignon bottle just shattered, and like all the champagne was like frozen, obviously, but just everywhere out of the freezer. So I had a good time cleaning that up. But at least we got to drink one of the bottles.
For those people who drink, right?
I hope it's not an omen, man. I hope it's not like a bad thing. But I mean, but I don't drink. It was like, you know, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like under somewhere from $500 to $1,000.
Yeah,
that bottle that was worth, and I was just like, damn, I just busted, a G bar.
That's okay.
Just like that, you know what I mean? But again, I don't drink, but
people had fun.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
Was fun. But I learned my lesson. Don't put champagne, but you could put liquor, right? You could put people like tequila, whiskey, and that because it's not carbonated.
They chill it,
right?
Yeah.
Some
people like it like that.
I mean, I that was an expensive lesson, but it was fun.
It was good. White elephant gifts, all kinds of good stuff.
Good. So New Year's is coming up.
Yep.
We're having a big party here at the Athena Estate. For those of you that have been lucky enough to be here, you know it's going to be a good party.
It's going to be good.
We've been working like day and night to get everything situated because we've been so busy. We really haven't done any like events here. But we're having a big New Year's Eve party here with family and friends. We got the tent up, and we're just, we got people staying here. So we're like cleaning, organizing. Man, we've been doing a lot. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It should be a fun party.
Good way to
and
end
then
the
the
year.
cool thing is that last year, because I've never really did New Year's without DJing. I've always been either traveling somewhere to DJ or on the strip DJing inside a club. I mean, I've seen the fireworks. Like I've been on the strip a couple of times, but I've never really was like at home. So last year when we had a party, we had a wedding and they did a wedding here for New Year's, like a New Year's wedding. And me and Dez were like, we're working the party, and all of a sudden at 12 o'clock, all of our neighbors, our whole neighborhood just lights up with fireworks. Yeah. And it was a surprise because it was like, it was unexpected. So
it was awesome.
This year it's like, oh, cool. Well, hopefully a lot of neighbors will do that. And I know I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So
it'll be awesome.
Don't tell nobody.
Right.
No, we're popping legal fireworks at the Athena State. So, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, we got a lot of family coming.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
It's going to be a lot of food. Got some Mediterranean food. It's going to be good. Maybe some family drama happening.
Yeah,
from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that there's going to be some family drama, but I think it's going to be good. Just give everybody a shot of tequila and everything will be all right.
What's a holiday without a
And if not, we have a ice cold pool we can throw people in to cool them off. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Do you do resolutions, New Year's resolutions?
I prefer to do goals.
Okay.
And so, because oftentimes people do a resolution.
Of course, the coach is going to say goals.
Yeah. I mean, well, and here's the reason. And usually it's because, I want to lose weight. It's this
You can't lose any more weight.
No, I'm saying as an example. And so it's just this one thing. And then by the time it's February 15th, it's like, whatever.
Now, because you're a coach and you have a lot of friends that probably come to you and talk about that and you help people out, be real now. Are there some people that when they come to you?
Why are you laughing?
Because I think this is so funny.
Oh
they
God.
come to you like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and I got this going on. This is going to be the year, this is going to be the year. And then you just look at them like, you ain't going to do shit. You didn't do anything until 2023. You didn't do anything until 2022. You've been talking about fucking getting your shit together since 2015. You know what I mean? Since 2009. You know what I mean? And you're still not getting your shit together. Do you have that?
I mean,
I
mean, that's the reason I always say, take action.
Yeah.
Like, cause that's the thing that holds you back. Right. So, I mean, my job is to ask the questions.
See, this is why Dez is always going to be a better coach, because I come from that football, football style of coaching, where the coach just says, you fucking suck. Get your shit together.
Why are you even playing?
Get off my field. Turn in your gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so just to me, and and I get it, but that's one thing that obviously has helped me out a lot And guys, you need to do this if you're a dad with girls, or even if you just want to be a better boyfriend. Take some notes from a girl like Dez, because it's so, what's that saying? I don't want to mess with this saying. It's like, you can catch bees with honey or something like that. Like, it's better to, like, you know what I mean? Something like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's better to, right? What's this? I don't even know what the saying is. But anyway, it's like, I've been that kind of guy that like will come in hot or just say what you want to say, or, but sometimes it's better to kind of come in a different way.
Well, there's utility to that though too.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's times when that's super effective because people need that direct communication. But I think, when you're dealing with collaboration and negotiation, or, you're trying to have some diplomacy, you have to have another approach. It can't just be
diplomacy. Yeah. It's been kind of hard for me. Sometimes I just want to be like, dude, like, get your shit together, bro. You know what I mean?
You suck.
So, so you have a goal. What's 2 goals that you have for 2024?
Sales is a big one. Yeah. 2024. It's just a big part of consulting, is to increase strategies around doing that well. So that's probably the first one that comes to mind.
I've never really, what's weird? I think my new year is like my birthday. Like that's when I kind of like
have this reflective.
When I feel that like, okay, I'm turning another year, I got to do this, For me, I think it's when the new year comes around, it's more like reflecting, like, okay, what did I do this past year? What's working, what doesn't work, and more like cut out the fat.
Yeah.
Like cut out stuff that's just, either holding you back or keeping you from stuff. It's more like a reflecting thing, because I think because a lot of people kind of get all like excited and they're like, I'm going to do this. And then January 2nd, it's like,
I know.
Already giving up.
Wait, what was I going to say? And well, one of the things I was going to ask you this, and we hadn't talked about this at all, but oftentimes one of the things that I do with people is ask them, what is their word of intention for the year? So,
meaning what?
Meaning if there's something, an area, or when you think about how you want your year to be, what word would it? So, and I can give you some examples. When I do this with my girlfriends, the kinds of things that we've come up with in the past are like focus, or growth, or innovate, inspire, influence, like just something that comes to you that reflects this is who I want to be and what I want to emulate in the year. Something that almost like a theme in a way. And like sometimes people even get those word of intention bracelets to be like, yes, this is my focus for the year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if guys and girls are the same, but I feel like guys are just kind of like, I got to make more money, meet more girls. It's like every year that's like, you're just trying to like, you're always having to do better. Because I think for guys, it's like very, they may be more simple. But the thing is always, it's like, I got to make more money, or I got to like, and even if you're married or anything, you're always wanting to like, how do we keep this going? How do we keep this fresh? How do we, But it's always like, get more money to make women happy. Like, it's always like, get more money so I can have nice things, so I can get girls to hit, you know what I mean? It's always like this, like, just make more money.
Well, but another way to think about that, it's like, what do you want for you personally? Like being a little bit selfish.
Girls to like me. Like, that's how guys think, man.
Yeah, but
because it's like I need to get in the gym. Why? Not, I guarantee you, because I want to feel good about myself and look in the mirror. No, I want to make sure when I go to the club, girls are looking at me.
Yeah, but
because,
Yeah, but I'm saying you personally, not speaking on behalf of all men. Just
me personally?
You, Aaron. Because you don't need, like, that's... Not something that you.
I mean, but that to me is like, and it's funny because it went from like, now that I have 2 daughters, it went from, okay, it's like, how to like, keep a girl happy to like, man, I got to make sure that the world is great. So it becomes this whole thing. So it's still like, goes back to girls, but now I got my daughter. So which is here's the thing. I think for me, the thing that has been like a theme in my life is urgency. Mm-hmm. So, and this is why I think for me, like, I don't like to wait, like, oh, I'm gonna wait till the new year to get things started. It's like, dude, start now. Like, what do you have going on? So for me, it's always been like, okay, well, like, is there something like something that I want? Or, I think when I had my first daughter, it was like, oh my gosh, this has changed. Like, I have to get my credit together. I got to make sure my finances in order. You know what I mean? I got to make sure, like, I have, like, I didn't have a driver's license for like 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I can't be a dad and not have a driver's license.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I was irresponsible when I was younger and just like, disregarded my like my traffic tickets, and it got out of hand where I was just like, I'm going to move to another state and just start over. And then it was funny because at that time they did the scope where like it's national now. So it's like, if you don't have your license or it's revoked somewhere, you can't get anywhere else. You know what I mean? And it was like a new thing. And I was like, damn, I was like,
you have to fix your stuff no matter what.
I didn't have a license for like 10 years. I was driving around and I would even get stopped by cops and I would just be straight up with them like, hey man, like, I'm gonna just let you know right now, I do not have a license, And it always mattered on the cop because you can tell they were like, man, I don't want to like do the paperwork and take you in, bro. Just get your license and they'll let me go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a couple of times they were like, no, we gotta take you in.
Oh my God.
So, but I was always straight up with them. So that was always cool because I was like, look, man, I'm gonna just tell you what's up right now,
Yeah.
So, but as soon as I had my daughter, I was like, this has to change now because there's no way I'm gonna be a dad and be in that situation. Like, you're a dad now. You can't be like an idiot, So urgency is like, I feel like when things happen, it's like, okay, well, let's do it now. I'm not gonna wait till the new year,
Right.
So I don't know if that made any sense.
No, that's good. I like it.
And speaking of urgency, so we were kind of talking like, oh, you know what? Since we've been really busy, let's start off the year and we'll do some episodes. But I was like, and right now we're planning a New Year's Eve party. We have tons to do, but I was like, no, we need to do a podcast show because there's been a couple of things that I'm like, I need to talk about, man. Because and we'll get to it, but I had when you're just passing the time and you're going through social media, which can be dangerous, going through YouTube. I mean, I watch a lot of different types of videos. I like to be informed and know what's going on in politics and pop culture and just, entertainment, If you look at all my videos, I'm just trying to just go all around, you know what I mean? And then even people that I don't agree with, I try to listen to their videos to be like, okay, what are they talking about? What's going on? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now for me, I know, and I mean, I'll challenge anybody, when it comes to, I know that when I see things, I know that you have to take it and decipher it. Everything that's on the internet, whatever video it is, it's like, okay, there's a context. It could either be propaganda, it could be factual, it can be for entertainment purposes, it can be, and nowadays you have AI stuff that comes out. I pride myself on knowing how to look at something and go, okay, is this real, fake, propaganda? Is this for clickbait? Is this to get attention? You know what I mean? Is this,
what's the intention?
Yeah, what's the intention behind this? So I and it's not just because it's funny because a lot of people will say that. They'll go, well, I do my research and I watch Facebook all day. No, you have to look at sources, like actual things. And you know what I mean? You have to go away from Facebook and go, okay, let me look at Wikipedia and find out who this person is. What's their story? What's going on? And then oh, is there an article about them? Oh, or even an issue. It's like, what's the issue? Was there a court case that was attached to this?
That's why we talked about dismantling misinformation.
Yeah,
last time,
and we
right?
talked about this all the time, and it just blows my mind how some people just still will just sit there and just go down a rabbit hole of stuff. And what's that documentary on Netflix?
Which
is it called The Social Networking or something like that? Or remember?
The one the social. No. I know which one you're talking about.
Yes, and we'll find it out, and I'll let you Google that.
It was in 2019 that it came out. It was the Social Dilemma.
Okay, so that whole thing was talking about how social media, the algorithms, it pretty much customizes it, because now here's the thing: the intent for social media it's more for advertisements and says, okay, what does Dez like? And
it'll continue to show you your trends.
What's her favorite foods? What's her favorite music? What's her political views? What's the entertainment? It'll learn. Your phone will learn about you
and give you all of that.
To give you what more. And again, and that's more on the advertising.
That's right.
What I mean? That's why that was all started. But now it's come to a thing where it's like all these videos and all this content that's put out. It's like, okay, well, if you want to know everything about like
dating, whatever,
whatever,
it'll just be like all in your feed.
Like if you're just like really into gophers,
yeah, I mean anything.
It will just give you everything, and that sucks because these people will get this misinformation, and it keeps coming, and keeps coming, and keeps coming. You're just like, dude, and if you don't go and try to search for other things, you're not going to know about it, and it blows my mind. And I watch these videos every day of people getting interviewed, and they are just like. I'm like, dude, where are you getting this information from? Like, this is insane.
Well, so this is how we arrived to this point. So to set the stage, we're going to talk about a topic today that is going to be the first of a few. And
I kind of went down a rabbit hole, but it was a thing where I wanted to search more videos because I saw these videos. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is, but this is becoming a theme now. Mm-hmm. And as a guy, I'm gonna tell you why this just pisses me off so much as a guy. So,
and so the topic, people are like, what are you guys going to talk about?
Oh my gosh, I just want to get into it, man. So go ahead.
What would you say the topic is called, Aaron?
So. There's this theme of insecure men who are trying to target women.
And you've used the word and heard the word toxic.
So this whole toxic masculinity thing, okay? Because I feel like this started, it damn near started with like Andrew Tate. When he came out, it kind of became this thing where people were just like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I love what he's got to say. And it's crazy because it's just like a lot of these people, they'll sprinkle in some truths to be like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. And then once they get you in, they just unload all the dog shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And again, people have their beliefs, but they try to push it on people and they really, oh my God, I'm doing it again where people are just, they try to push this whole like view, like it's, oh, what I'm saying is right, you know? And the problem is like, yeah, if you're older, you can look at someone like Andrew Tate and be like, oh, what a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. But if you're a young man and you're hearing this and it's going viral, you're creating you're influencing younger people to not be good men. Mm-hmm. And vice versa too, Right. And right now in this, what we're going through right now, the Roe versus Wade is being overturned. So it's like women's rights are being attacked, Mm-hmm. And then, you had the Me Too movement, mm-hmm. which was a thing that happened when it was like, okay, well, this is the type of thing that goes on. But then it seemed like it's like an issue comes up and then people kind of like dilute it. And then because a few people that will talk about like I'm pretty sure in the Me Too movement, there's a lot of people that came out, and then there was a lot of people that are trying to take advantage of it.
Right.
Like, oh, well, I was Me Too because maybe they're trying to get a money opportunity. And it's the same thing with BLM. You know, Black Lives Matter started, you know, that whole movement started with Trayvon Martin. You know what I mean? It was this whole thing to, you know, Black Lives Matter. It was basically saying like, look, like, why is it that when, you know, black kids are being killed, nobody like really cares? No, there's no justice for them, you know? But Michael Vick does a dog ring and kills dogs, you know, dog fighting, and he has to go to jail. You know, it's just, there's just the disparity, the inequality and all that. It's just not fair. So that whole thing started, that whole movement started, and it got bigger and bigger. And because again, it seemed like every year there was, you know,
something,
you know, a black man being killed by the cops or in some way. Now, again, you can argue, okay, did he resist? Did he do certain things? And there's a lot of that too. But it's like this movement. And then as it gets bigger and bigger, you got more people that come in and maybe try to take advantage of it. And now all of a sudden, any protest or anything that somebody does bad, you know, you have a movement over here, somebody goes, oh, this is our chance to get some free shit. But now that's associated with BLM. You know what I mean?
Right.
It gets grouped in.
Right.
So the thing that I kind of want to show today, I just want to jump right into it. There's this podcast show. There's two of them. It's the Whatever podcast, at Whatever. And then it's there's another podcast. It's this guy, Myron. What's this thing called? I don't know what the podcast is called, but I know this guy, Myron. And we'll get the information. We'll definitely source it. I guess it's like Fresh and Fit or whatever podcast. Yeah, Fresh and Fit podcast. And it's it's so funny because I'm looking at the podcast, like the YouTube, and like just the hashtags. You got Fresh and Fit clips, Fresh and Fit podcast, and then after that goes Andrew Tate speech, Tate brothers. Okay, so there's a thing, and we're gonna show you guys like what's going on. But let me show you guys the video, and I'm gonna tell you why this is like really upsetting me. Let's go to the first one. We're gonna do the Myron one. Here we go. Oh, come on.
To see you. Come on, Alexis.
No,
Look,
it's just beyond sex. It's
you gotta be beyond. Come on,
The
relax.
reality is this. I get what you're saying. Like, he's going to be excited to see the other girl because she has experience, but he's not going to commit to her.
not
What
gonna
women
go home
want
to her.
is women don't want to be in the sex-only zone, which is what you're describing right now. Women want to take a last name, have a home, be
Kids,
with a guy that they
family,
like,
yeah.
a kid and family. That's what women get fulfillment from. That's what they get it from. Not being a side piece. What you're describing is side piece lifestyle, which is great. But that does not necessarily mean that you want that. Women want stability with one guy. So
Right.
I would argue the girl that's exciting and has experience, she's actually the loser
I don't mean
overall.
experience just sexually. I just mean
Bro,
in general.
Life.
Who can hold a conversation? Who?
you can hold.
Okay, look, let me give you guys a breakdown of how men think versus how women think.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to be the first one to put her in a Lamborghini. I want to be the first one to put her on a private jet. I want to be the first one to take her to Dubai. I want to be the first one to take her to a nice restaurant. When she has these experiences already, you want to know what men think? Whore.
Slut.
If I see a girl on a private jet, whore. I
Slut.
see a girl at a fancy restaurant, whore. Girl in a Dubai by herself, etc. Not showing pictures of the guy that took her there, whore. Like, men, when they see women with experience, like you're trying to claim, we're not attracted to that.
Yeah.
Men are attracted to women that don't have any experience. That's why since the beginning of time, men want virgins or girls with low body counts. But girls, on the other hand, want a guy that's competent, successful, and older. We are not attracted to the same things. What you're mentioning is what women are attracted to: experience and intellectual and all this other shit. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Can
at
we
all.
Yeah, but what happens when he gets bored of her? You're not significant. You bring nothing to the table but just opening your legs and shutting your mouth up.
Because men want peace and quiet, and that's the girl that gets the ring. That's who gets married.
Okay, but
That's who gets married.
I am not
happy
going.
with it.
Okay, Dez. I want you to talk about what you just heard right there.
I like when you share this kind of stuff with me, I cringe and my blood boils.
Now, I'll put the clips so you guys can watch the whole thing because I don't want to just. Obviously, we're not. We're not going to show the whole thing because we don't want you guys to sit here. But if you guys want to go through and watch the whole thing, because I want you guys to watch the whole video so you guys can see the whole context.
That you're going to share. But the point of this clip, as well as others that will be shown as we get further into this kind of topic, so you can engage in this conversation and in a community that is of healthy, productive engagement on this, this is obviously a particular view, right? That is held, and it is being portrayed that all men feel a type of way and women should conduct themselves in a certain kind of way. And my opinion is that it is ill-informed because you cannot speak on behalf of all people. And so not everybody is traditional. Not everybody, everyone falls on different parts of the spectrum when it comes to life, dating, lifestyle, the way that they want to conduct themselves, and the way that they want to have a relationship. And this is a bit of a precursor because we will spend a lot more time in the future talking about relationships and relationship styles. And, a theme that I've observed in clips like this is men that are misogynistic.
So let me ask this before you go further, because people are listening to this and going, well, why does it make you boil? What did he say to make you upset? Like, why does this make you? And I'll tell you why. What gets me upset?
Well, whore on every single thing, like a person with experience, that automatically equates whore.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
So he's over here talking about, if you're a girl who's already done all these things, like went on a private jet, rode in a Lamborghini and all that, then it's just like, then you're tainted. You know what I mean?
And that is how.
And another thing, it's like now also he's saying like, well, this is why guys want virgins.
Well,
Okay.
And think about the position that he just put you in if you're listening to this as a woman. Be quiet, peace and quiet. Mm-hmm. And it is essentially what that girl was saying.
Yeah. Now one of the things that why I showed this clip was she said, so what if the man gets bored? And this is the theme in this whole thing. All these guys go in on the, and by the way, I keep forgetting that. These clips that we're showing you, you're going to notice a theme, a common denominator in this whole thing. All the girls that they put on these things are all girls who either in the sex industry have OnlyFans or work in the nightclubs. It's all the same thing, And it pisses me off because there's nothing wrong with these girls, okay? They're not any less. You know what I mean? And to me, I just don't, I don't look at it like that. Like, I don't think people are better. Now, do people have higher jobs? Are they more educated? Yes. But it's like they're using these girls who, yes, may not be as educated, They've chosen to be in the lifestyle, and they're very young too, and young and naive. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, like I was a very different person. Like I screwed up. When I turned 18, I got a whole bunch of credit cards and screwed up my credit, and
But I think
and dropped out of college,
the point that you're making is they are hand selecting.
Yes.
Hand selecting women that they can target, that they can demean, they can diminish, they can put down, they can make feel badly, and it's preposterous that that people are doing this to these women.
Let's move to another one. I'm going to show you another one. So that was the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron. And then this is, I forgot what this guy name is, but this is the Whatever podcast.
Yeah.
Lord, because you were talking while I was talking. Go ahead.
I'm good. You can say what you need to say.
Wow. See, you're brain dead. That's a problem. That's why you have to interrupt me while I'm talking. I gave you the floor. You didn't want to take it because you don't have any thoughts or anything to say.
I do have
Here's
lots
my
of
point.
things to say.
And don't worry, I'm not really talking to you. I'm speaking against you as a symbol. So don't take
As a
personal
symbol,
offense
which is
to
what?
it.
A symbol of what?
A symbol of a declining society where people
Gotcha.
lack values. So the point is this. If you had IQ and skills to offer to the marketplace, you
Gotcha.
can earn a good income. Being that the most valuable thing about you is something that you never earned. You didn't earn knowledge. You didn't earn skills. It's your breast that you paid for and your butthole. So you market that to earn money.
Okay. So I'm the one with like the least IQ here, even though I
No,
do the
no,
least,
no, no, no,
even
no.
though I do
you
like
might
the
not
least
be.
amount on OnlyFans,
I surmise,
but because I'm the only woman who's barking back at you, like I'm this brain dead fucking bimbo who has nothing to
No,
offer to
that's not
society.
why.
I mean, then what? Then
Well,
what?
let's test it. Let's test it real quick. Okay, what's your age?
I'm 28, but I'm not testing.
Ooh,
I'm not
28.
doing a test.
You're 28.
I'm
on
getting up there.
OnlyFans.
You're
That's
right.
amazing.
My eggs are drying up.
Okay.
I'm not going to be fertile. No one's going to want me. I'm not a high value woman. Like
That's
what
fine.
else?
We're not going there. Here's where we're going. If you weren't doing OnlyFans, how would you earn a 6-figure plus income?
I do
Wait,
Like-
speak English. Go ahead.
I work at one of the highest like I work at one of the best clubs in Las Vegas.
You seem like you're having trouble with English for a second. Tell us.
I'm perfectly fine with my
Okay,
English.
go on.
I'm a little riled up. Yes.
I said that like 5 minutes ago and you denied it.
I'm a little thrown off
Okay.
by you attacking me because I think a lot of these other
That's
girls
because
and
people
and
never
and
address you.
And I respect
People
like,
never
what everyone
address
else
you
does
directly.
Here. I think you're just attacking me because I'm responding to you, and you don't like that, and you don't like women who go against.
Okay. Another one, Des.
I mean, he totally
Let's break this down.
puts
Okay.
her down.
Again, there's a lot of debate things. People go in debates all the time. Okay.
But the main point here is just by nature of the profession that she's chosen,
Yeah.
he has categorized her and degraded her and diminished her because of that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're assuming inadequacy. You're assuming a lack of intelligence, a lack of anything to give to the world, a lack of values, and just cutting her off, continuing to make her feel stupid. I mean, that's conduct?
Yeah.
Is that the right conduct that you're supposed to have with someone?
And
They're lesser than
and this
you?
and this is what he's doing. They're trying to do that. They'll bring on these girls, and what they'll do is they're trying to just use these girls as all women. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, this is not all women, but they're trying to hit at these girls that are younger, that choose to be in this lifestyle or choose to make money at these high-end clubs, who are pretty. They're pretty girls. They decided to use their looks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know everybody's story.
Well, and-
like
and-
you're just trying to blanket this. And this is why I get upset, because as a guy watching this, one of the things is I cannot stand when people bully other people. Like, if you want to have a debate, bro, then bring a lot of other different type of women in the industry. Bring successful women in that industry, and then bring other women. You know, but they won't do that.
No.
They're going and here's the thing. Okay, do these girls have chosen? Okay, they're younger. She says she's 28.
Mm-hmm.
You know, based on this, I mean, it's not saying she's dumb, but you know, did she probably go to college? Does she read a lot of books? Does she spend a lot of time? No, but does that make her like a horrible person or?
But
you know?
the whole point of their show is to say that.
Yeah, they're trying to.
If you're not this, then you are inadequate.
Yeah.
You're not enough.
So
you don't fit in.
And this is what pisses me off about this whole thing is it's like, okay, what about male athletes that's all they do is play ball. They go from not having any money to making millions of dollars using their bodies. Like,
And that talent.
none
right?
of these dudes, some of these dudes go straight out of
From
high school. These guys, they'll go to college, but you know, a lot of people know, man, they just pass them, and you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some football players out there that become great, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of football players out there. But why aren't you bringing these guys and saying, well, how come you're just using your body and not doing anything with your life? And there's a lot of NBA, NFL players, any sport, that you'll see that they'll go broke like a year after they're done.
Right.
Because they
didn't
didn't know
manage
they
the
didn't know how to
money
manage.
properly.
They didn't know the right people. They didn't know. All they knew was how to play ball. They didn't know how to file taxes. They didn't know that they had to put away money and then invest it. They didn't know that. Or if they did, they got somebody to jack all their money.
Right.
So why aren't you bringing those guys and talking shit about them? And this, to me, that's the equivalent.
Right.
The way some girls decide to use their beauty to make money, some of these athletes use their body and not their mind to make money.
Yeah.
So that to me, it's like, dude, you're just trying to target these girls. And here's the thing that I feel. It's like all these dudes that are on this are insecure guys, are upset because these girls can make a lot of money very fast.
Well, and I was just going to say.
And probably reject these guys.
Not just reject them, but make more money than them.
Yeah. So they're bitter and they're upset that. And here's the thing. Yes, it's competitive. And this is one thing that I want to, and this girl said it in the last video. She said, again, what happens if the guy gets out of the girls? How many times, and I'm gonna look this up right now while we talk about this. What is the divorce rate? How many of you out there know somebody who's been cheated on or been divorced? There's so many out there. Mm-hmm. So if you're just supposed to just shut up and be peace and quiet and just, you know what I mean? And let me be the first and have no experiences, then what happens? It's like, okay, so that girl's that for you, and then you get tired of her and cheat on her or divorce her. Now what? Mm-hmm. Oh, but it's okay for you. Like, nobody says like, well, it's better for a guy to be a virgin.
Right.
These guys aren't saying that. Like, these guys are out there with all these other girls, and I guarantee you, if you were to sit them down and be like, how many girls have you been with? Mm-hmm. You know, like, be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I bet you their numbers are like in the 50s. Because right when a guy gets a boner, he's trying to fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, like, so don't sit there and say that, like, what's your body count?
Yeah, I mean, that's such such a judgment.
It's this double standard is just so messed up. And again, fine. If you want to, if as a guy, you want a girl who's a virgin, who's all this and all that and everything, fine, go out and look for that. But don't sit there and like talk shit and talk down to all these girls like you're above them.
Yeah.
Like, who the man?
Well, and that's the most disheartening thing about it. It's fine for every person to have their opinion and their perspective, but it's another thing to intentionally bring people on to put them down.
Let me show another one. I'm going to show one more.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oops. Let's see here. Oh.
Welcome to the Whatever Dating Talk podcast. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You could have been any.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me get it back. Go ahead.
Oh. No, my point that I was making before you were going to show the clip is just the entire essence.
You said that
of
I
the
would like
show is to bring people on to tear them down.
Yeah.
So I think, what are you?
So here's, okay, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button and
It's fine.
messed up. Why is it doing this? I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry.
The sex is amazing. We
Welcome
have
to
mad
the
chemistry
Whatever
then
Dating
yes.
Talk podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Charismatic anywhere in the world. But you're here with me. I appreciate
They're
that.
like
We're coming to you live from
two
Santa
in-
Barbara,
two in
California,
one.
every Sunday. And
There we go. Sorry. Oh my goodness. We're just getting worked up here.
The sex is amazing.
Dick
We have
Smith.
mad
He's got to be
chemistry
a
then
Dick
yes.
Smith. Super charismatic. He's got to be Shakespeare with his. Okay.
Cock, yes.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. So you said though you find it difficult to stay with one person. You said that, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. That admission is a scarlet letter.
Is a what?
It's a scarlet
You're
letter.
fucked.
Like any man who hears that, I frankly, just by you saying that, should probably preclude you from even considering giving you his commitment. Because I mean, you say you find it difficult to stay with one person. So what that's communicating is that you find it difficult to stay with one person. So
I mean,
it's like
I just feel like I haven't met
you
the
have
right
a wandering
person,
eye,
you know?
basically.
I mean, I'm not the only single person in here. That's just how I feel. You know, that's why I feel like I'm
But
single.
it sounds.
Like,
Have you? Let me ask you a question. Have you been involved with a guy who maybe met your metrics, but you got bored? Have you had that?
Well, yeah, my last ex, I got the X, is like you like to
Well,
call it.
But I mean, it sounds like to
mean-
you he was doing things wrong. But have you ever met a guy who was good looking, good personality, good in the bedroom, met your wealth or money criteria?
That's a lot of stuff added together.
It is a
Oh my
lot.
God.
That's a lot.
of
That's
stuff.
that's.
It's
I think
amazing.
women you can pick two of. I forgot what there's. Good in bed, good looking, good money. You get to pick two, maybe.
Well, I want the
maybe
whole
even
package.
one.
So at the end of the
So it's like, so what? So like, here's the thing. There's not just straight people in this world. There's gay people. There's bisexual people. There's trans people. There are people who are just,
Pansexual, all kinds of different.
there's people that just want to be lonely. There's people that want to be assholes. And in relationship, there are people who are they have open marriages, polyamory. You know what I mean? If you look at, here's the thing. Let's just look at, instead of going into like swinging and all that other stuff, polygamist. Polygamy is a whole culture. It's a whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure if you guys watch some of these shows on like TLC and all that,
Mm-hmm.
where they show these, it'll be like it'll be a man and he's got 4 wives and they make it work and it's a whole thing, There's not it. It's like these people are saying these are the rules. This is what the book says. This
What
is
I don't like
Yeah.
about the way that they carry and conduct themselves is, I am above, I am better. You are below, you are worthless. Like there is an air of arrogance and pompousness and asshole misogyny, like all over. And that's what bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Is if you are not like this, please go over there.
Yeah.
Like that, it's
it keeps it's this whole thing of like guys and girls, because nobody, like when you say Hugh Hefner to guys, they're like, oh yeah, he's a freaking god.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he had bitches, all the different girls all the time. He had a whole mansion full of girls, banging all kinds of girls. You know what I mean? Nobody's like, oh, this guy's a sick individual. I'm pretty sure a lot of like conservative people, probably,
but still,
women.
But the point is,
But he's
for
revered.
for a woman,
You know?
you're a whore, you're a slut.
Yeah.
You're, you don't have morals
and if this girl's
values.
like, but this girl's being real. She's saying, look, I'm picky. Why does it have to be a scarlet letter? She's putting it out there that goes, hey, I'm picky. I get bored. So I'm letting you know right now. And that's fine. She's being upfront and saying that. And if guys don't want to be with her, fine. But trust me, like there are guys in this world who have no problems with a woman like that. You know? And we'll dive into this because I feel like we really need to dive into this because this is to me is a huge problem with the dating world and society. because there's all these guys who are, because remember back then it was like there was no internet, there was nothing, you know. I mean, women didn't have the right to vote at one point. Women didn't have the right to own property at one point. Men have ran the world for thousands of years. And it just seems like recently there's been some equality. And people get this whole thing mixed up like, oh, well, women just want to like be equal to men, and they think that they can be as strong as us and as tall as us, and they don't need it. That's not what they're saying. It's just that, you know, women have the choice to say, I don't want to have kids. I don't want to be married. I don't want to be a housewife. I want to make my own money. I want to go after, I want to go down a career path. It's like with guys, it's like you're not limited.
Right.
But women, it's like you're limited, you know? As a father of 2 daughters, like I'm not saying like, and again, yeah, I know we got to like really get into this, but one of the things I really want to put out there is that like, I'm not saying, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, oh, well, so would you let your daughters do OnlyFans and stuff? I'm like, that's not what, like, my thing for me is to make sure that my daughters have unlimited possibilities. You know, to be there, to be involved and learn and teach them and say, hey, look, there's a lot of different things in this world that you can do, that you can be great at, you know, and work hard for and everything. And that's fine. Like for me, I would love to see one of my daughters be a lawyer, you know, and one of my daughters be a doctor, you know, but I know that they're going to want to find their own path. But my whole thing is, you know, there's a lot of options out there. Like people think it's like, okay, well, you're either professional or you're important. No, it's like there's so many different things that you can do, but these guys are zeroing in on these girls, and you know, and again, and then you're putting like, you know, bottle girls in with the same thing as OnlyFans, and yeah, do a lot of them do the same thing and use their looks, yes, but I mean, that's for whatever reason these women have chosen to do that. Now, I've worked in the strip club. I can tell you that when I talk to some of these girls, some girls want to be there. They're cool with the job. They chose it out of their own free will. And a lot of them feel like it's the last resort. Maybe because they don't have help from family. Maybe they had a person who left them with kids and they have to, you know, do it. And they're trying to make money fast. They see it as, okay, well, and again, none of these girls are doing anything illegal, you know? But we look at Scarface and everybody's like, oh my God, Scarface is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he killed people and sold drugs.
lord.
You know what I mean? Like
Cartel.
we look at cartel and drug lords and everything as like, oh, those are dope guys. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean,
entrepreneurs.
What's the guy's name? You know, Ricky Ross. Like, you know what I mean? Rick Ross, the rapper, got his name from a big drug dealer. You know, I mean, Suge Knight and all. You know, it's like all these people. It's like they did illegal things and they're like
revered.
Mm-hmm. You know, whereas these women are not doing anything that's illegal. You know, yes, sex work is illegal, but pornography isn't. And they're doing, and here's the thing, there's a huge demand for it though. You know?
I mean, and if we're really getting to facts, sex is the #1 commodity.
Yes.
In the world. It's never going to go away. Right? So when you think about strip clubs, porn, all of these things, it's here to stay. And you know, to be the judge, jury, and persecution for these people that choose that is, you know, totally overboard.
The porn industry generates more income than the combined revenues of ABC, NBC, and CBS, and more than combined revenues of NFL, NBA, and MLB. In the USA, the porn industry generates between $15 billion to $97 billion a year. Every second, $3,000 is being spent on pornography. This is a huge industry, and there's a demand for it. So the men are demanding women provide us pornography, but then go get mad at women for doing pornography.
That right there
like,
is what makes all of this whole conversation that we've been having for however long we've been recording, is so ridiculous. It's bullshit because these men are sitting here talking about these women that men are demanding this work from.
Yeah.
So how does that make any sense? So this means that you're better than all those men that want this from women.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk to those men? Why don't you talk to those men that like women in porn, that pay for that shit, that go to the strip clubs? And do you go to strip clubs? Do they not ever go to a strip club ever? Are they like on a pedestal and never do anything that would be demeaning to a woman?
I guarantee if you went on these guys' search histories, you would find pornography, you would find OnlyFans receipts.
Right?
You would find, you know what I mean?
Dick pics.
You know, and it's just like, dude, come on, man. Like, here's my thing. Like, when I'm a DJ. So I've been on tour. I've DJed weddings. I've DJed bar mitzvahs. I've DJed quinceañeras. And I've DJed in a strip club. So I've done different things. I've not just been a strip club DJ, but that was, to me, when I was a strip club DJ, I made a lot of money. It was great. But I met a lot of women. And here's the thing that I did. I treated every girl like they were a person. And I spoke to a lot of these girls. And a lot of girls had a lot of different stories. And some of them that didn't want to be there, I would say, hey, well, what is it that you want to do? And we would talk about it. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? This is, and I would give suggestions. Maybe you can start off by doing this. And you know, if that's your dream, here's some suggestions on maybe how to get there. Because here's the thing. One of the things that I have noticed, because when I first met you and we talk about coaching, I would always be like, why do people like, and it could be a male thing. It could be a Latino thing. It could just be because I'm from a blue collar, city. We don't do therapists. We don't, coaching, consulting. You never hear about that, but for me, I was blessed to have great parents, grandparents, cousins, uncles that were teaching me, that were talking to me. If I had a question, it was being answered. Mm-hmm. I had great influencers. I had great role models in my life. You know what I mean? And then when my dad would take me to different, meetings and around other people who were successful, it was just very inspiring. I understand now that not everybody gets that opportunity. Some people grow up without, maybe they have one parent, a single mom that's busy all the time, and they can't have the time. A lot of people don't have big families. People have small families. Maybe their only child, and they don't have those. They don't have anybody to pick them up, to inspire them, to sit there and invest time and say, what do you want to do in life, and how can I help you get there? So a lot of these girls are just probably like, well, maybe this was easy and fast because there's not a lot of answers to the questions that they have. Mm-hmm. So this is why I get pissed off, and I'm like, I honestly, straight up, fuck these dudes. You know what I mean? And I would love to sit there and talk to them and tell them to their face, bro, you are not a real man, because a real man is a protector. A real man's gonna look at a woman and say, hey, look, how can I help you? How can I, get you to where you want to be? You know what I mean? And have sympathy,
and compassion.
And compassion for people, and say, because I'm a man and I'm strong, or maybe I have certain abilities, how can I help you? And it doesn't have to be money. A lot of these girls that I talked to were just amazed that they could have a conversation and come to me if they had questions. I swear, and I wish I still had this, but I typed out a basic budgeting plan of like, okay, this is, you want to do like 50, 25, 25, like the money you get, put 50 into your bank account, 25 put into savings, 25 for investment. Mm-hmm. And I would break this down for them and like, make sure you have a bank account. And I was always trying to help them and say, okay, well, because there was some girls that they love being a dancer. They love being a stripper. They love making money. Mm-hmm. But then they were always like, damn, at the end of the month, like they just couldn't get out. They just didn't know how to manage their finances, just like athletes.
Right.
So I was there financially advising them and helping them so that they can do other things in their life, you know, because I know there's going to be more girls that come in and, you know, so, but I just, it's like these guys just want to, they're making money and getting views off of putting down women, you know? And again, if that's your thing and that's how you want to make money, cool. But look at now let's look at you now. So these girls are using their bodies and their looks to make money. You're using these girls and putting them down. You're being a bully. You're making money off of being a bully.
Right.
What does that say about you?
Exactly.
You know? So I mean, when I was sending you these videos, like I was so steamed up. This has bothered me all week. I mean, I've been seeing these type of videos for a while, but seeing these now that are just popping up, and I'm just like, and here's the thing, they're popping up because they're getting a lot of views.
Right.
A lot of people are looking at this, and now it's like these girls are being attacked now. Now all of a sudden there's all these angry dudes who are like,
yeah,
just want to shun these girls and talk shit. It's like,
right.
That's messed up, man. And it's like, so for me, you know, I really want to, and again, this isn't popular. It isn't popular to help people and see people grow. I mean, it is, but not as, people want to see a car wreck. People want to see drama. Why was Jerry Springer one of the #1 shows on TV? Because it was drama and you got to see people fight and you got to see dumb people just talk about dumb stuff and see people's lives just, you
deteriorate.
know. Yeah, just chaos. People love to see chaos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And feel better about themselves.
People would rather see an accident. And I'm going to get to this too. I love watching fail videos. I can watch fail videos all day long.
I know.
So I understand it. People want to see chaos and something happen instead of seeing somebody give an inspirational speech.
Well, and this is the point, right, of all of this. And if you haven't already figured out, if you've listened to more than one episode of the Born Unbreakable podcast, this is a place where it's not about one-dimensional thinking. This is a place where we want to understand, as Aaron said, different perspectives, including perspectives that we don't share, so it helps us to understand the world better. This isn't the place where we're going to sit here and promote just one agenda that you can gravitate to. We invite you, anytime you come to this show, to be proud of who you are and what your convictions are, but for them to be based in fact, for there to be information and data that supports that in an effective way when you conduct yourself. I mean, this is a place where we want people to be informed, but also create unity and not divisiveness. And that's example of divisiveness.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what you believe in, what you stand for, and everything. Like, you know, it's just like somebody going, okay, I'm from the South. My ancestors were part of the Confederate family. They owned slaves. You know what I mean? You can be proud about your heritage, but you can say, well, you know what this is my heritage and this is my family and I love learning about them. But, you know, obviously I don't agree because that's not right. You know? Instead of going, well, that's my ancestry, like, and I'm for it. I'm for, you know, buying and selling black people and having them work for you for free.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's, you know, it's like you can be Christian, Catholic, whatever, you know what I mean? And you can say, look, like, you know, I'm a Catholic, but, you know, I don't believe you should stone somebody to death for, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like there are people that want to just, my biggest thing is like when people bully other people, that's wrong.
Right.
When people lie, you know, when people are trying to do things to hurt other people or take advantage of other people for their benefit, for their personal gain. That's where there's a problem, you know?
Yeah.
If you had, and here's the thing, I'm Catholic, but when it came out that Catholic priests were molesting little boys, altar boys, that to me was like, there wasn't a thing where it was like, oh, we'll stop talking about Catholics. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, it was like, okay, this is a concern. This is a problem in the Catholic Church. We need to address this. We need to talk about it. We need to face it and make sure it doesn't happen. You know, what do we got to do to get these bad apples out of there? That's gonna, you know,
Right.
That's you know, putting a stain on the Catholic Church. You know, So it's like, it's just, just knowing and being a decent person, knowing what is right and what is wrong, like if your father was a killer, it's wrong, right? it's like trying to defend like your father who's a killer. It's like, well, my dad was a killer, but like I love him and I supported what he did. You're not going to say that. You're going to go, you know what? I love my dad. I mean, he was my father. He was good to me, but it sucks that he chose to do those bad things.
Right.
And I don't condone that, and that's messed up. So it's just, that's my biggest thing is like there's right and wrong, and you guys know it's right and wrong.
Right.
But people will choose to look the other way, and if it benefits them or it fits their narrative or it, so that's where I have a problem. So like when we do this show, I want to make sure we give people the right information. I'll tell you what I think about certain stuff, but hey, there's some guys, and trust me, I guarantee there are guys maybe listening to this or listen to these things and go, yes, you know what? I don't want a girl who's an Instagram model. I don't want a girl that works at a club. I don't want a girl where all these guys are after her, where, all she is just a pretty girl. And, and I can't have a conversation with her, or she doesn't want to grow with me, or she doesn't think I'm enough. That's fine too. But you don't have to put these girls down.
Right.
Just say, that's not my preference. I want a girl who is, has a college education, who's never put a nude photo out there, and then go find it. But what gives you the right to go and get these girls and put them down?
Yeah.
When you're not putting down athletes who use their body.
Exactly.
You're not putting down companies who put alcohol out there or cigarettes or drugs and stuff like that kill people. What, you know what I mean? It's like it's they want to cherry pick what's morally right and wrong.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to talk about more of this. We're going to break it down because I think it is important, because these types of things, it's what's affecting relationships. My biggest thing as a guy has always been, be honest with yourself. Who am I? What do I want? What am I looking for? What's going to make me happy? What can I tolerate? What can I not tolerate? And communicate that. Because here's the thing, like, I'm an open-minded person. Ever since I was 20 years old, I've been in open relationships. It doesn't work for everybody, but you know what I mean? But it's worked for me. To me, it wasn't all about hooking up with a lot of girls. It was about not having insecurities, getting rid of jealousy, so that I didn't waste that energy on that. That's what worked for me. And over the years, I've learned more about myself. I've been able to learn like the other perspective from a woman, you know what I mean? And just open my mind to learning about the opposite sex and becoming a better person. Because my thing is like, well, how do I become a better man? How do I become a better partner? How do I become a better dad, a better boyfriend, a better son? You know what I mean? A better friend, you know what I mean? Not just to, family and friends, but strangers. How do I understand, because it's just like, I'm always out there. I always want to be somebody who's putting positivity in the world. Like, how can I affect other people to make the world a better place, not make it worse? And there's some people out there, and I'm not perfect. I'm pretty sure like in the past when I was in relationships, there was things that I fucked up on that made a girl upset or mad. You know what I mean? So, but as a real man, you take accountability for that. You're like, I was wrong back then. There was mistakes that I made. I'm always learning. Have humility, have compassion. Being a man doesn't mean always like, oh, I'm the man. I'm the person who's gonna like tell somebody what to do and push people around and have this big tough attitude where it's just people are gonna fear me. Like, I think like that's what people think like what a real man is. You know what I mean?
Some people.
So, and here's the thing, like that's my perspective. Some other people we'll go, well, a real man is somebody who like doesn't take no shit from anybody and takes what he wants and isn't afraid to grab a girl in the pussy. That's a real man. Okay. Let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you're comfortable with that, then you're comfortable with somebody doing that to your daughter or to your mom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that to me is like they forget that. And as a guy, I would tell you this. You know, guys have this thing where it's like. Now, here's the thing. This is something that I want to say. I've always said it this way, but I say this because I want to be honest, but at the same time, I want to be real and really. I don't know. Let me just say. Here's the thing. This is a man's world. Growing up as a guy, I've understood that. But when I say that, I'm saying it as I understand that guys are privileged in this world. We don't have to bear children. We don't have to have periods and menstrual cycles. Our biological clock doesn't cut off at a certain time. We are built with muscle. You know what I mean? Our bodies are shaped to be stronger. You know what I mean? So when I say this is a man world, I'm saying that I recognize my privilege, but it's like a person who understands that will go, well, then if I have these opportunities and powers, how do I help? How do I work with? Mm-hmm. You know? So, and for me, I've always said that, but I always wanted to say, like, I understand this is a man's world. You know? And if that triggers people, I understand if I'm offending, you know what I mean? But I'm just trying to say that, like, you're just trying to be real. Like, I understand that men have dominated the world when it comes to, I mean, again, you look at like, I mean, even in the Catholic Church, women can't be priests, you know, just like women couldn't, you know, have certain rights. Women, you know what I mean? For the longest time, there was always pharaohs, there was queens, but you know what I mean? And again, and I'm pretty sure if you look back in time, there was times where there was probably like, you know, queens and people who dominated and everything, you know? But for the majority of the time, it's always been, you know, this like guys have always had the upper hand on a lot of things, you know? And when it comes to relationships, it's like, dude, man, like if you don't understand your privilege as a man.
Well, and
I
think your point though is one to really marinate on because of how much evolution has occurred over time, right? So we're in the era now where the Barbie movie came out.
Yeah.
And what was the point of that? Empowerment. Choose your adventure. Be who you want. You want to be a mom. You want to be a business person. You want to be both. You can be all of it. But the point is, even when you choose as a woman, there's still going to be people that say, that's too much. That's not enough. You're too big. You're too small. You're too short. You're too tall. I mean, it's never going to be enough no matter what it is that you choose. So women have to face that. We've talked about that, I think, before when we were talking about like losing weight in a previous episode. There is just always something that women...
you as a woman who's successful, who's had a great career, you've been at your company for over 15 years, you know, when you've dated in the past and had committed relationships, marriages, did your success affect your relationship?
Yes.
Yes. You know? Now, if it was the other way around, it would have been a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there's people that fight about money all the time, but it's like, there's this whole thing that guys are afraid. It's like they can't deal with a woman being either better than them at something, you know? Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I'm not a scientist. I'm not, you know what I mean? But I from my understanding, it's like guys are embedded with this thing where we have a role, you know? It's like instinctively, it's like, well, I'm supposed to be the one to provide, and I'm, you know, and it could be DNA, but it could also be the way society has done things.
Well, I mean,
for
that's-
example, like
that's
I have two
horrible.
daughters. When we go to the toy store and go down the boys' toys, there's no cleaning equipment. There's no baby stuff. There's no kitchens.
Right.
It's superheroes, guns, Nerf guns, and like
Sports,
and trucks
right?
and cars, right?
Basketball hoops.
But when I go
different
down
things.
the little girls section of the toys, it's shopping carts. It's
Babies.
it's babies. It's kitchenettes. It's makeup. It's all this domesticated stuff. You know. Now I don't take offense to that. Like my daughters have a little kitchenette and everything. You know, but at my house they see me cooking. They see me cleaning. You know, I don't feel like I'm too good or I'm a man, I'm not supposed to do those things. No, like I want to help out and do everything. It's like, let's do things together. I want to show them that, okay, like there's multiple things. Like I want my daughters to be able to grow up and say, well, my dad cooked and cleaned and, you know, folded laundry. And when our dresses would have a hole in it, he would sew it. But then what do I also do? When I go work on the car and change a tire, I let him help me. When I put together furniture, I let him help me. You know, when I'm, DJing or doing some stuff, I'll let him roll some wires with me. Like, I'm trying to do this whole thing of like, generalizing stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I recognize that maybe, like it could be something that's embedded in us, like instinctively, but also society, like.
Well, it's both
you know?
because all the way since we were hunter gatherers, what was the roles? Men went out and did what? Killed.
Yeah.
Brought the food. And what were women doing? Cooking the food, carrying the babies. I mean, like this is historic for years and years and years.
But just like
it's
just like people will use a Bible, and again, this can be either Christian, Catholic, it could be Muslim. People will interpret the Quran, the Bible, and go, this is what the Bible says, so we have to do this. Like they'll take things so literal, and it's like, dude, you're not, and you're like, okay, well, man, this isn't the caveman days anymore, bro. Like, So I guys, you cannot be insecure. I understand if you don't want a woman to make more money than you, if you don't want a girl that's really hot, if you don't want a girl who's maybe can, maybe taller than you or can kick your ass, whatever, then don't be with a girl. But don't start this movement of all girls need to be below us kind of like theme, attitude. It's like these guys are getting insecure because here's the thing. I know there's studies that have came out that women are owning more homes than guys now. Women are becoming homeowners, outpacing men in a lot of stuff. And it's just like in this country too, like you have, like the reason why a lot of these like white conservatives are getting upset is because they're becoming the minority. So just like guys are feeling like, oh man, like girls are making their money. Girls are doing this. Like I got to do more. You know what I mean? So it's like this insecurity of change. And it's like, man, like, but it's like, but if you know who you are and know what you want, you can have okay, this is my standard. This is who I want to go for. But here's the thing. A guy will see a girl like these girls that they put them on these podcast shows and be like, damn, I would love for that girl to be my wife. But they get upset because they're like, oh man, I want a hot girl, but she makes too much money. She's already been on a private jet. Well, you know what I mean? It's like, they feel like, oh, she's tainted. Like, It's just like, dude, come on, man. So, and here's the thing. Like, I don't have any sons, but I mean, I'm curious to know, like, those of you out there who do have sons as mothers and fathers, like, how do you see this? Like, when you see this, how does this trigger you? Does it affect you?
Well,
do you agree with it?
And here's the thing, and I just want to say this as a person in humanity, because I don't have kids. And so, but I don't think that limits my ability to consider how this affects young people. I have nieces. I have friends that have kids. I've been the mentor to so many young people. So I feel that I am positioned to have an opinion, even though I don't have to care for my own children, and this is about I mean, your mention of insecurity is a whole topic
Yeah.
that we could probably spend time on. And I think we should, as we engage further in this subject, I think we have to talk about that because that's a huge thing. Because there's a lot of people that are listening going, well, it's easy for you to say, but I do have insecurities. I do have jealousy, or I do have this happened to me in the past, and I'm worried that that's going to happen again. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
you
it's
know what I
okay
mean?
to have insecurities,
Right.
but don't make those insecurities and attack people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally understand.
That's where I'm just like, dude, like, it's just like, it's like if a girl is like, okay, I'm a little overweight, I'm insecure about my body, but then they're going to go on and be like, fuck all these skinny bitches.
Right.
It's like, dude, okay, but you can't hate on them. You know what I mean? Or, if you're a guy and you're like, okay, well, I wanted this girl, but this dude that makes way more money than I can, that can give that girl a better lifestyle, she wouldn't chose him because he had more money. Man, fuck that dude. But you chose to sit on your ass and play video games all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not go out and hustle and make money, whatever. You know what I mean? And I get it. Some people are lucky. Some people are blessed, But man, you're going to have a tough life if you're over here just, looking at everybody else and being like, man, I'm not blessed. I'm not,
Right.
looking
And
at all your flaws
putting
because
other
everybody's
people
got
down.
something. You know what I mean? So
We all have things to work on. But what we want to do with this introductory episode is just put this information out there so you're aware that there are podcasts like the ones that we introduced you to today.
yeah,
We'd love for you to get educated and to share your opinions with us, to tune in and be, we want to have more conversations.
this is the introductory episode.
Yeah.
This is the episode where I say, fuck the whatever podcast guys and fuck Tyra. Or what is it? Myron. Yeah. Fuck these insecure ass dudes. That's straight up, man. Like,
Yeah.
I have no problem saying that because this is messed up.
I
Like,
feel you.
like these dudes are just, I cannot stand people who bully other people,
Yeah.
And
It's
these guys are trying to call themselves real men. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Bro.
exactly. So,
But on that note,
so this is how we're ending the year.
yeah. But you know what? I feel like, there's a lot of this stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody somebody has to fight for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The opposition is good. You know what I mean? We're always going to have problems. There's always going to be issues, but I'm not afraid to talk about them and talk about them and tackle them. Because here's the thing, like, yes, my instinctively as a guy who I am, I'm gonna sit there and be like, dude, like if these guys were here, I would tell them, dude, fuck you. I think you're a piece of shit, dude. But let's have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? Like, as a dude, and I think this is how guys are. Like, it's like we'll have that conversation,
Right.
And I'm gonna say, but I'll tell them like, this is why I think you're a piece of shit,
Yeah.
and this is and I would tell them why, and we can have that conversation. And at the end of the day, if we don't agree with it, that's fine. But I know that what I'm saying later on down the road is gonna resonate somehow. You know what I mean? But and here's the thing. With a lot of this stuff online, if you were to click off the camera and go behind the scenes, some of these dudes are just trying to make money with this clickbait stuff. We're trying to so getting all these girls who cannot debate and are kind of like thrown off and,
Right.
they're doing that because other people who are insecure want to see it.
Right.
They want to see these people get bashed.
It's purposeful.
It's just like when you look on the politics, it's like, oh, this right winger got owned. Oh, this liberal got owned. Like they're going to go and find the dumbest people on the opposition so it's easier to put down.
Right. And say, look at, and then you generalize it and say, see, all people of this background and this belief system is this way.
I want to start doing this now, like after like every episode, I kind of want to do like and I don't know what we'll call it, but kind of like when you find a person, you just want to give a shout out to a person.
Oh, yeah. And we talked about that.
I would love for one of these dudes to have Miss Jasmine Crockett Texas senator representing Texas. I wanted to have, you guys need to put some girls on who have other positions, who have other, other professions, but I would love to see somebody like, and here's the thing, like, I want to give a big shout out to this girl, Jasmine Crockett, because even though I watch stuff like this, I go and watch some other cool stuff like this. Like, there's some dedicated, smart women, who understand and who are helping other women like that. Like this, when I was listening to her interview on the Breakfast Club, and she's like, I'm out here trying to make sure that people who need housing, like there's a bill that we're trying to do, and these, these Republicans are trying to take out HUD. They're trying to, these people with that get the food stamps are getting only like $6 a day, for certain, and I forgot what it was, but she was trying to explain this, like, she's trying to fight for people who are maybe less fortunate or, that maybe need some help, but I guarantee you this woman is not going to go and put these other girls down. She's about empowering,
right.
So I want to give I just want to show this clip because, man, this girl, I want younger people. I love seeing younger people like this that are getting into their state representatives. They're getting into politics. They're getting into these. We need more people like this because they're educated. They're real. They have compassion, and will hopefully inspire others to do the same. Because we need more people like this. So I just want to give a big shout out to Miss Jasmine Crockett from Texas, Senator. Let me show you this real quick. Oh, I love this video.
Period. I said, what is the crime? Because when you're talking about impeachment, you're talking about high crimes or misdemeanors. And I can't seem to find the crime. And honestly, no one has testified of what crime they believe the president of the United States has committed. But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the to me. This looks like more evidence of our national secrets, say on a stage at Mar-a-Lago. When we're talking about somebody that's committed high crimes, it's at least indictments. Let's say 32 counts related to unauthorized retention of national security secrets, 7 counts related to obstructing the investigation, 3 false statements, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, falsifying business records, conspiracy to defraud the United States, 2 counts related to efforts to obstruct the vote certification proceedings, 1 count of conspiracy to violate civil rights, 23 counts related to forgery or false document statements, 8 counts related to soliciting, and I could go on because he's got 91 counts pending right now. But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States. And I will yield.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and
Ooh,
topics.
that's my fave.
Lesser Holt. Shout out to Lesser Holt.
I love using Lesser Holt.
You know what? Like, I'm a Republican. I've been a lifelong Republican. Okay, but I'm an American first. And just like I was saying, I'm a Catholic. But you know what? When shit was going down, you got to speak up and say it. There needs to be more people that go, look, we need to get educated people, not Candace Owens, people like Candace Owens that don't do anything, but just spew different crap for personal gain. Okay? This is a person who has been an attorney, who went through stuff, who knows her position, who's in there fighting for the people who she represents. Has no problem having debates, has no problem going across the aisle, and is out there trying to do her part and trying to make the country better. Instead of trying to just use the country for their own personal gain. You know, and again, both sides do it. There's a lot of people that do it, but you know, I'm just glad, and people need to just get. You know, it's like we don't need to fight in the streets. We need to fight in the courts, in these hearings, by changing policies. You know what I mean? And again, whatever policy, this is what I want to do. When you ask a lot of people, who are you voting for? Who are you supporting? And you say, why? Some of these people don't even give any policies. It used to be like, well, you know, I'm Republican because, you know, I want small government, and I want to make sure that, you know, we, you know, don't have to pay a lot of taxes, but we can be, you know, and I'm for law and order, and, you know, and I want certain policies that are going to, you know, we want to make sure that we, you know, have a strong military so we can have a strong presence, or, you know, when it comes to foreign affairs, stuff like that. No, the people don't say that anymore. People would just say, oh, well, I like or dislike this guy because he's old, or he's, you know, it's like, dude, that you need to get policies.
Right.
You know, so whatever you believe in, whatever you're for, understand what you're for, what you want, and don't just participate in a national election. You need to participate in your local elections. These are the people who are going to fight, who are going to benefit you directly.
That's right.
Whether you're a business owner, whether you're, you know, in need of some assistance, you know, whether you're trying to see your community prosper. So it's very important to pay attention to stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you know, to me, you know, my thing is like, are you a good person? What are your intentions? You know?
Right.
So that's why, you know, I'm the internet's crazy, man. But you see, I see these dudes that are toxic and everything, but I see other people who are doing good things, and I want to give a shout out to them, because even though we're talking about these guys, I always want to put something positive out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And show some people who are really doing some dope things that it's probably not sexy, but at the end of the day, man, these people are trying to fight to make sure that people have the ability to better their lives. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Little Dez, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you guys out there. Thank you for listening. I know this year's been kind of crazy, a little bumpy, trying to get these episodes to you. We got tons of stuff going on, but I promise you we are committed to bringing you guys consistent episodes, because we just want to make sure that we're giving you guys good information, inspiring, educating, and man, just giving flowers to the unsung heroes out there, man. People that are just working and grinding and, you know, doing cool stuff. So
That's right.
yeah, so this next year we'll have some cool things. Like we want to hear from you guys, nominate some people who we should give a shout out to, you know. And please, if you have disagreements, let us know. Let us know what you think. You know, I always want to make sure that I am always growing and understanding other people's opinions, beliefs, what they think about stuff. Let's have a conversation about it and see if we can, because I mean, here's the thing, man, like most of the time, I swear to God, if you put somebody in a bar or a party and not even talk about anything, man, you have a great time, not realizing that the person you're partying with the whole night disagrees with you on everything, you know, but it's okay. People can coexist. It's just, we just want to make sure that people are not hurting anybody, picking on anybody, or trying to bring out evil, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure most people in this country, and there's some weirdos out there, some crazies, you know, but for the most part, everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to see each other thrive and be able to raise a family and make choices or pursue dreams and goals, you know, and be able to do it without anybody screwing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's it. We out. Happy New Year. We'll see you guys next year.
Yeah, 2024.
We out. Peace.